Hello friends, Mexican Spec here. Just want to introduce you to another one of my beauties. This is a 1969 Chevrolet Kingswood, not a Kingswood estate. There's no wood on the side. This car is originally from California. I have the little pink slip. Anybody remember pink slips out there? This car has been in Mexico since... Will you be quiet? I'm trying to record a video here. This car has been in Mexico since the 90s. It's been a long time, and it really hasn't done the car any good. I bought the car in Guadalajara. Still has its plates from Jalisco, and I do not plan on changing them over to where I am. I took the roof rack off just because I couldn't clean up there. The car was sitting under the trees for about 3 years out in front that I hadn't moved it. And notice the mirrors. I bought those on eBay some years ago, and they just do not hold up well to being outside at all. So here, I'll give you a run around of the car. The car is rusting from the inside out, if you can see that. That's clean though. I always keep the inside of my gas doors clean. A few holes there. The worst of it, at least the worst of it that you can see, is right here on the tailgate. But I just saw there's a parts car of this exact car in another state, and I may be able to get them to send me the tailgate. So it has a power window, of course, being a Kingswood. I just rinsed down this side, and right here where I put the pressure, the water went straight into the car under the window. So that's not good. Same thing happened over here. A little bit of silicone. When I brought the car in here, I took a Scotch Brite pad and some cleanser, and I went all over the whole car, and it made it green again. It was almost black. So it's pretty good, except I have not done up here yet. I had to take the roof rack out to do it. You can see some more rust here that I just put the silicone on. It's been sitting out in the weather for years. No, the car does not have a 396 in it. When I bought the car, it had no front side marker lights, so I didn't know what engine was supposed to be in the car, because there's no numbers on this car that say what engine. It's either V8 or 6-cylinder. So right now it has an 80s 305 in it. Last time I checked, the air did work. Blew cold. But the problem I'm having with it is it will not start from the ignition switch. And it's been like that for about 3 years now. It could be the aftermarket alarm that I put in it, because when I bought the car, I wanted to be lazy like people are now and press a button to unlock the front doors. And it locks out the starter when the alarm is set off. So that was a big mistake. I will never do that again. Open it with a key. That's all that's necessary. But it's pretty much original. Well, besides the engine. But it is a Chevy V8, so. Fuel pump again went out. So I have this electric up here. I didn't put it at the tank. I just wanted to get the car running. And the one I had on here started spewing fuel all over the place. And this one, I guess, works, but that's not my problem right now. This car always ran super smooth. The engine was super smooth. Transmission just shifts exactly like it should. But it has problems in other things. All of those leaves right there, I just rinsed out the inside of this fender well. All of those were sitting in there collecting moisture, and I have to clean out all of this very soon. And the inside of that fender well over there is exactly the same. Here, I'll go around to this side where there's more room and show you the interior. Front seat is factory. I did replace this. I found that on eBay. Cracked steering wheel, of course. I found a speedometer that goes up to 200, which is in kilometers. And I replaced it. Took the US one out because I happen to be in Mexico and we measure everything on kilometers. So I did do that. Car's always had its original radio. Window up and down switch. No power windows, no power locks, which are good for me. Even though it's a General Motors, they would have worked. This up here, this, that was rust pieces. This sun visor here is too heavy to stay up. So I just have to kind of leave it like that. And I don't think that's a stock mirror because it's too small. But this car has other problems. See all of that in there I have to clean out and really get this car looking nicer. Now, when I was living in California, the 1969 Impala was a very, very popular car with the Mexican lowriders and everything. But when I take this car out, people everywhere ask me, what is that? Is that a Ford? Is that a Dodge? I thought everybody knew what a 69 Impala looked like, but I guess not. So this is gonna be another one of my projects. Oh, here was another brain fart. Hey, let's paint the hood black. Make it a hot rod wagon. That didn't work out so well. The Bondo over there came through like 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe more. I had this car sanded down, lightly sanded, and I sprayed on some clear all over the car. And I would walk out and I would rub my hand over it, and it was just smooth as glass, the whole car. That lasted about 6 months in the sun here, and that was it. Also, when I bought this car, they messed around with the electrical system, and which is why you see there's no reverse lights on this car. They hooked up the middle lights for the brake lights, and then the outer lights are the turn signals. How that was wired in, I don't know, but it is. And yes, this is a two-way tailgate. It does swing out, and then you have a step here to climb up, and then it has a switch in there to pull it down if the window is down, so you could load in your plywood, which is, I guess, what everybody does with these cars. I had a brand new set of tires, those white wall tires, and just sitting out in front of the house, one exploded. Almost no miles on it at all, just explodes. So I had to put this wheel on because I gave my wheel to my buddy at his tire shop, and he just threw the wheel away. And they are stock 15-inch Chevy wheels here are very hard to find. So the rust is coming through, the metal's coming through. All of this is fixable. It's no big deal. I'll show you on this side what I'm working with. With this, there's no bolt here on the fender to the body, and then I noticed these two holes that I did not know about. That's new. Did not know those were there. Another problem I'm having with this car, which I had since day one, because I think it had some kind of accident up here on this corner, and it was not, the front suspension was not in good condition when I bought it, so I had that all redone on this corner here. But if I'm driving and I put my foot on the brake, the front end of this will tilt down like that, and then I will hear the fan hit the shroud. So it's like the whole front end is tilting down when I put my foot on the brake. And it may be because right there that there's no bolt on that fender. That fender and pillar. And is there one here? Oh, yeah, right there. There is one there. So it is more prominent on the passenger side. But I'm waiting until I have a shop to really restore this car, because it is definitely worth it. You gotta love those wraparound bumpers. You gotta love those. Everything else works on it. The air conditioning, the brakes. I just tried the brakes after sitting for 3 years. Pedal is fine. I have driven this car, basically around town. That's about it. It's not a highway car. Oh, I did take it out to the beach one time and got stopped for a speeding ticket because they have a speed trap where it's a tiny little town out on the highway, or it's actually just a side street. So they'll lower the speed limit and then they'll sit there. And the officer told me, "Oh, I got you on radar," and I asked him, "So when did you calibrate the radar gun? Everything you do to get out of a ticket." And he gave me his answer, and then I had to go over to the beach city and pay my fine. But they're there to write tickets to make money, and that's what they're going to do no matter what you say. This is also another car that, even though it gets really hot here, it gets 110, 115 degrees, never overheated on me. And I've had this car since November of 2008, I think I bought it. I bought two wagons at the same time. This one and a 73 country sedan Ford that had 23,000 kilometers on it. White with a camel colored interior. It was a really nice car. But this is the one I ended up keeping, because the other one had no heater, no defroster from the factory, and I just couldn't. You take it out at night and you can't see through the windshield with two people breathing in the car. So why cars came without heaters? A lot of Fords came without heaters. I don't know. A lot of the full-size cars came without heaters. It didn't make any sense to me. There's a lot of cold areas in Mexico, and even though I don't live in a cold area, you take it out at night and you have to have a defroster. And there was nothing in that car at all. So it had to go. So I ended up with this one. And if I could get past that starting problem, and Mortsky said that the purple wire is the ignition wire, I don't see any purple wires, but I am going to clean everything and see if I can find it. Jack it up. Maybe it's the solenoid down at the starter. Thank you, General Motors, for putting the solenoid out of reach, where it's hard to change. But you will see more of this car, and hopefully I can get it back to where it starts and runs and turn it into my grocery getter, since none of my other cars want to cooperate with that. No matter what I do with the Savoy, he keeps giving me more and more problems. So maybe he just wants to hibernate. Maybe he wants to go back to sleep. I don't know. I just ordered a fuel pump for it. I hope it's the right fuel pump. I don't know how many different styles of fuel pumps, mechanical fuel pumps, came in the 225 slant 6, but we will see when it gets here if it's the right one, because I do not like electric pumps. Right now it's pushing so much fuel so hard. The fuel is just going past the needle and seat, going directly down into the engine. And the 225 does not need that much fuel. So anyway, I'm going to end it here. So this is not a Mexican car, but if you would like to see more Mexican cars, Mexican spec cars, please subscribe. Also, send this video to your friends that like 69 Impalas. I'm sure they would like to see it. Bye.